YouTube videos is giving you a little bit of insight into the kind of implication of early specialisation. I'm now actually going to look at what actually specialisation in a sport environment looks like. So first of all, we've all seen, or if you Google image search specialisation in sport, and you're always going to get images, generally quite often of sporting experiences in China, where the young children are pushed to their absolute limits, and as a result, they put loads of kids into that sport, but to develop these talented athletes, but ultimately, majority of them drop out due to injury and burnout. But obviously, they're able to get a percentage through that are able to participate in that sport, but the negative impact and the negative results of that massive talent pool that's been pulled into that sport, and they've caused serious harm and injury. It's not a good thing. It's not a good way to develop athletes and performers. The other thing to think about is specialisation. You may actually visualise this in terms of the coach or the parent's influence on it. So is it the pushy parent who tells them what to do, and the kids don't want to do it or not enjoying it, or is it the actual coach who's pressurising? So these adult people in those children's lives are ultimately going to be the drivers of this early specialisation. Like I said, there's very few and far between where the actual performer identifies and decides that they're going to be, they are infatuated by that sport. And obviously Tiger Woods was an example of that, but those examples are few and far between. So focusing on those adults in this environment, adults initiate and control the activity. Adults segregate groups by age to facilitate formal instructions. Adult restricts the times on tasks, and adults keep the learner focused on the demands of the particular sports. It's very, very adult driven, rather than it being on a child-centred delivery, which we're going to look at in future weeks in terms of when we're working with your children and youth, adapting different approaches to children. So ultimately, the early specialisation is very adult driven, based on key research and findings of this area. Now, I touched on examples of where you might see early specialisation, and the following YouTube links are China's future Olympic stars, and it will basically demonstrate some of the things I've talked about throughout this session.